What is going on, fellow Wastelanders? Shock Radio here. I woke up to some insane news from the guys at Targym. They are commencing their third round of mass testing for possible changes to the system of energy consumption and energy supply of parts. So the people that maybe are not familiar with what they have been doing in these testing rounds, they have had 2 weekends of testing this so far, going on their third. They are changing the energy of pretty much everything in game. Hardware, cabins, weapons, and we'll talk about it in this video. Most people that I have talked to are absolutely outraged and furious about these changes. However, the people that are outraged and furious, I will say, don't really have any examples of the test server. They're not really 100% familiar with it and how it's going to work. They just kind of look at things and say, my porcupines are going to be 6 energy or 7 energy, you know, take it back. And they don't really look into everything and how it all works. So I'm going to try to shed some light. I will be trying to play the good guy in this. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to try to put not positive spins on this, but see the positive of this, the downfalls. I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts, being someone that has played on the testing server 2 times now. And then we will be testing all this stuff out. Friday, they'd have the testing server coming out. Saturday, the testing server. Sunday will be there. I believe it's all weekend thing. I do have access to the test server. You all have access to this test server. I would highly recommend you guys check out the test server if your computer can handle any bit of CROSSOUT. Even if you don't have anything in CROSSOUT, they will give you free parts on the test server to try out. So anyway, we basically just talked about all this, but they're trying to make it easier to balance things out. And I can see that how, you know, you give someone something so much energy and you're able to play with it a little bit more, reduce or add energy costs, things like that. So they're trying to make it so that it's easier to balance out the game with all this energy. So according to the results of previous testing, the changes to energy supply of cabins have showed good results. This means that we will keep the system of energy supply parameters increasing by rarity and depending on the type of cabin. This is something that I actually like, guys. Don't kill me, don't smoke me in the comments. But I like this change right here to cabins. And why do I like it? Well, let's talk about it, why I like it. So right now, Epic and Legendary are the 2 top cabins if you're playing endgame. Obviously, other cabins matter, but we're talking about mainly clan battles here and high power score. So right now in clan battles, there's cabins like the Blight cabin, the Humpback cabin, the Catalina cabin. What's another purple tier cabin? Epic cabin. There's all these cabins that are purple tier that are outperforming legendary cabins. Now it just is what it is, man. Like Humpback is more used than a cohort right now, for example. And Firebugs, the Kami is an option, but pretty much Blight is the only option for like fire builds. So those are just some small examples. I'm sure you guys can think of some other ones. So basically, they're going to increase the energy cost. Not the energy cost, but they're going to increase the energy points of these cabins. Each tier will go up by 1 energy point. So right now, if you have, like, say, I'm going to use this as an example, you're running a Blight, Remedy, or Draco, or Firebug. Well, there is the Kami version of those builds. Well, the Kami version of those builds are going to give you 1 more energy point. So the Blight will give you 24 energy right now. Well, the Kami cabin will give you 25. So in the future, you might sacrifice that little bit of extra damage for a Blight, or say to get the Kami cabin to have that extra energy point, or say the Humpback and the cohort, for example. People are using the Humpback right now over the cohort for the damage buff. Well, this is going to make them think, well, it's a heavy cabin, I'm only going to get 22 energy, I might need to run the cohort cabin so I get 23 energy. So it is going to make legendary cabins a little bit more important, I guess, which, you know, take it for what it is. I think that's a good thing. You know, being someone who has like cohorts and things, and it doesn't feel the best when you know, like, oh, I should just use a purple cabin. Why do I even have this 6,000 coin cabin? Anyway, moving on now. So they're changing some of these items. They've already announced changes to. I guess these are in addition to the changes that they've already mentioned. So Wyvern, the tonnage is going to go up, so you're going to be able to hold more. Mass limit, tonnage, and power increased by the bear cabin, so you're going to be faster with the bear cabin, have some more acceleration. Fury, same thing, everything is going up, power getting increased. It looks like most cabins are getting mass tonnage, power increases. Photon, Omnibox, pretty much everything. Favorite cabin is actually getting a maximum speed buff, which is actually good. Favorite cabin does feel a little sluggish compared to other light cabins, I will say. The call cabin as well, getting a speed buff. Excuse me. Oh, thank you. I hate doing edits, so that sneeze might stay in the footage. Sorry, guys. The How cabin maximum speed increased from 80 to 83 kilometers an hour. The tonnage has increased from 4,500 to 5,500. So overall, they're just improving all the cabins, increasing the speed, increasing the tonnage, increasing the everything for these cabins. So the generators, it says the change of energy supply by generators remain the same and complement the changes to the cabins. So again, the case of the higher the tier generator, the more energy. Kind of a big way. Heavy generators now give 1 energy point more than light ones. But their destruction causes a much more powerful explosion. These changes would hopefully make all generators a viable option. Currently, the players have a favorite generator in each light-heavy pair and use it as much more often than its counterpart. They're right. Right now, the Thor. How much love is the Apollo getting? Absolutely none. Absolutely none. So, you know, they're trying to make it so the Apollo and the Thor, you have your uses. You don't just go dang gum Thor the whole dang time, right? So for this one, it says the Thor will be 8 energy, and the explosion damage, what? Minus 30? I don't get that. They're reducing the explosion damage, I guess. Yeah. So I guess they're reducing. I guess that's what that means. They're reducing the explosion damage by 36% on the things like the Thor, the Apollo. They're raising the explosion damage. The changing mass of some of them, so like the bootstrap, looks like it's going down in mass and down a little bit in durability. The special ampere is going up in oh no, sorry, that was the mass is going down on the bootstrap, durability is going up on the gas gen. Makes sense. So the mass on the Odin is going up. Good God. So this is one thing that I absolutely hate. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not going to lie. I don't like that they're doing these energy changes after the Odin came out. I mean, I get it, like the relic generator's only 1 extra energy now, but I don't know if it's going to diminish or enhance the fact that you need an Odin for like endgame clan battles and things. But not need it, but it just, yeah, the viability of an Odin. I don't know if this is going to make it worth an Odin or if it's going to like make it so it's like, nah, Odin's kind of meh now, you know? I don't know. Instead of getting an Odin, I'll just use a lighter tier cloak. And that is a great point, guys. If you want to like get more energy out of your builds now, you can use like a lighter tier cloak or lighter tier engine. Not now, but when the energy changes comes into effect, if it comes into effect. Anyway, moving on, energy consumption. Firstly, we would like to note that PS of all common and epic modules weapons has slightly decreased in the new system, so the power score. This is due to the fact that the power score of weapons and modules is equal to the product of the rarity factor times the consumed energy. These factors of these parts were not divisible by 2 and therefore were rounded down. So they rounded down the power score of some of these parts. I feel like when they say rounded down, that means they couldn't really figure out exactly what to put them at. So they were like, well, fuck it, I'll just send them down. So I'm sure there'll be a round 4 of balancing changes because this is a lot, guys. So the power score values of some parts that don't consume energy were also changed. Values from live game servers are shown in brackets. The new ones are shown outside of brackets. So the live server are the brackets. The new values are the outside of brackets. So fuel barrel, fuel tank, changing the power score again. Decreasing the power score by pretty much everything. And pretty much all these guys are going down in power score. Nothing's going up. Everything's going down in power score. Not too bad. Not too bad. The Flock, the Genesis, expanded ammo pack, Rune, fuel tank, contact, rift, all that stuff is lowering in power score as an effect of these balance changes. So weapons, in order for the new system to have a little impact as possible on players' current armored vehicles, we have dropped almost all weapon changes and will only modify their energy consumption if needed as part of the regular balance changes. The energy consumption of all weapons will be multiplied by 2. The exceptions are some auxiliary weapons for which we have reduced their energy cost. So basically, they're making it easier. Everything's just multiplied by 2. And unless noted below. So here's how what they're changing here. So it looks like porcupines are going to be 6 energy. I know a lot of people are complaining about the porcupines. Check out the test server on Friday, guys, before you throw too much hate on the game. Come by our stream between 3 and 8 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Check in the Discord to see if we're still streaming. I'll make a YouTube post, all that good stuff. Come check it out. Request that I look at builds for you and try different combos and all that good stuff, and see how your build is affected before you guys go freaking out over this stuff, or not, you know. Either way. So the enlightenment is only now consumes 1 point of energy instead of 2. Power score reduced from 275 to 135. So instead of doubling the enlightenment energy, they just made it 1. The barrier is going to consume 3 points of energy instead of 4. Akari is going to be 7 points instead of 8. Also, the Young Wang's perks bonus for energy spent on modules is now reduced from 12% to 16%. So a lot of people were like worried that the Young Wang was going to be absolutely insane, you know, because the perk was based on energy spent. So if you had like 20 some energy versus 12, yeah, that's the first thing I tested was the Young Wang. So they did reduce the Young Wang damage, reduced to 6%. Modules similar to the weapons, we doubled the energy consumption of all modules except the ones listed below. So everything got doubled in points except the ones below. Dunhorse and Razorback are 1 point instead of 2. So they're keeping the special tier engines the same. Oculus now consumes 1 point of energy instead of 2. So they're keeping the radar the same. The K1 discharger, another special tier part, 1 energy instead of 2. Yeti, oh, the big Yeti, 3 energy instead of 2. Oh, dang. Power score increased. Invisibility reserve increased from 30 to 45. Damn. So it's like got like a buff and a nerf. Oh, man. Bonus from invisibility reserve reduced from 15 to 10%. Okay. Bonus to the invisibility reserve from rune reduced from 50 to 25%. Okay, so that's a balance. That's not a nerf, not a buff. That's a balance. They basically give you more cloak to start, but your runes are less meaningful now. So maybe that'll mean the price of the runes will drop. Rip the rune that I crafted for profit. So they have to say a very effective stealth module with unique mechanics different from the chameleons, make it not so much an extension of them but an alternative to them. We don't want to weaken its performance, but we think it's fair to raise its energy consumption and make it less dependent on the rune. That's good. I like that. That's actually a smart move, guys. Tarjim, good job. So the rune is expensive, and they before you needed like 2 of them or whatever. No, now you probably can get away with 1. So that's awesome. The Amamori is going to be 3 points of energy instead of 2. A lot of you guys want the Amamori to disappear. So you guys should be, I mean, like 90% of people feel like want the Amamori to disappear. Well, this is what you get. You get almost disappearing Amamori. Now people are going to have to decide, like, is it worth 3 energy for that Amamori? Or should I run something else? You know, should I run another barrier, a weapon, whatever? So the Amamori is going to go to 3 points of energy instead of 2. So a very effective module, and yeah. So we're gonna maybe see the Amamori used less after these changes go into effect. Again, we're playing the test server Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so stop by and hang out. The Aviator consumes 1 point instead of 2. Blast Off is gonna be 2 points, and Hermes 3 points. So basically all the boosters. You start with the lowest booster, 1 point, go up 2, go up 3. There you go. So I think before the Hermes and Blast Off were basically the same on the test server. So yeah, now it gives 25% bonus to damage with the cockpit perk. Boost increased by 56%. Is this better? I don't know what the Hermes is now. Is this better or worse? I feel like it's better. I don't know. I can't remember. I have to look up what the Hermes, the perk is for the cockpit cabin now in the current state of the game. Argus and Interceptor now consume 1 point instead of 2. Beautiful, although a lot of people that hate dogs are going to be very upset about that because Argus and Interceptor are going to be required to run dogs, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, they get in the buff hammer. R1 Breeze consumes 1 point instead of 2, that's fair. R2 Chill also 1 point instead of 2. Changing the efficiency reduced from 50 to 40%. For shotguns from 29 to 23%. I think it's hilarious that shotguns are just so good in some ways that they have a whole different efficiency model for how radiators work with them. Now consumes 2 points of energy. Efficiency increased from 70 to 80%. For shotguns from 38 to 44%. At this point in the video, we're going to need to take a sip of our coffee. Ah, that's good right there. Alright, CS Tamir. now consumes 1.72. Efficiency reduced from 60 to 40%. Interesting. Interesting. So those are all the coming changes in the test server. Now, how to get to the test server? Oh boy, you basically got to create a new folder for the game, download the launcher from this link. So you got to have a new folder for the game, and you got to download this test server. And now start the launcher and install the game in the new folder that you created. After the installation is complete, start the launcher and enter the game with your username and password. The whole progress of your main account will be transferred to the main server. After logging into the server, transfer your progress from your account. Press the escape key and copy account data. That is important. So we're Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let me show you an example real quick. I might cut here. I have 3 CROSSOUT servers installed on my computer, so I'll show you what it might look like. All right, guys. So here's my folder. I have a CROSSOUT folder. I made a new folder for the CROSSOUT test server and another folder for the CROSSOUT test server too. I think one's the promo test server. So you just got to make sure you make a different CROSSOUT server so you don't overwrite the original CROSSOUT file. You download the file they give you on the website and you put it in your new CROSSOUT test folder, and then you have your launcher just like that. So you can still play CROSSOUT Live, CROSSOUT test server, and all that stuff. But the test server is only open, like it says, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you're not already gone by now, thank you for your support in supporting what I do. If you want to really help support the channel, become a YouTube member. It's only $1 a month. Hit the join button, become a member, or super chat in the comments below. There really is not many CROSSOUT content creators at all. I will say YouTube ad revenue is not the greatest for things like CROSSOUT. So if you guys want to help support the channel and make these videos happen, definitely, join the YouTube membership or super thanks below. I greatly appreciate you guys watching and being a part of the community. As always, leave a comment. Let's chat in the comments. Let's chat in Discord about this. I'm not too pessimistic about this, but I know like 99% of people are like, I'm uninstalling the game instantly. But anyway, without further ado, you guys have a great day. Enjoy your Monday, and I will see you guys in the next video.